guys, it's the Real Compute here, and today I'll be discussing about artists with updates. Alright, to start this off, updates is basically when an artist sends pictures of the work in progress of their artwork. Some artists do this with request, and some don't. Among the very few artists, I am one of those who loves to do updates. And in this video, I will explain how updates could actually really benefit with your art and having probably not a lot of customers, but at least customers that love your work. So, to first start our claims, number one, our claim is, why do artists not do this? And here's some questions that people have asked, and I was able to back it up. So, here's the first claim. First, because it wastes time. And while this does seem like a waste of time, it could actually help you rest in between sessions while during the drawing process. Because basically, if you draw out the process, you could show them and ask if it looks correct and wait. Because if you do continue on and they say something was incorrect, you would have to redo the entire process. So it's better off just waiting than having to redo everything just because of one little line that was misplaced somewhere or something like that. And so during that time, you could work on other commissions or do other activities until they respond. And if it's like a few days until they respond, make sure to remind them or finish their entire commission then, because they didn't really respectfully read your terms and service and they didn't follow along with it. So anyways, for our second question, because it limits the artist's creativity. Yes, it does limit some of it, but it actually narrows it to a more clear thought. And although I'm putting this here, I will get to this claim later. And our third one is, it is hard to wait for a customer to respond, and it's better off finishing than the customer complaining. And the only thing I should note about this is that if you don't have your terms and service, like I said earlier, and that it doesn't claim that you'll do updates and you'll wait for the person to respond, then it completely explains why they would be complaining. Or if you didn't explain to them earlier that you'll do updates and that you'll wait for the customer to reply to it and such, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense, in which I'll need to update my terms and service for that. But it completely explains why. And so, and also me being impatient myself, I could completely understand that it could be very hard to wait. But once again, it's better off waiting than being sorry. And besides, a customer and an artwork that they want exactly in your style is a very higher chance of being a customer in the future, and them giving you a good review depending on what customer you have and whether or not they respected your art enough to do a review. In which I actually have examples of this, and I will display them somewhere around in this video. And so, to our second claim, how can it help the artist? Despite it limiting the artist's choices, it actually could trigger a specific kind of creativity in which it narrows down to a subject and helps them think of an idea for the drawing. Example. Let's say a person wants to draw a pony OC, and that looks like this. In which, in your mind, you're probably thinking, oh, it looks like an oceanic OC. And you ask if you could draw like a beach background or something like that. Because it's like a beachy ocean waves, blue kind of fur on it. And the customer responds no, and tells the artist or you, it's a diamond pony, in which you get the idea and you incorporate the colors of it and you decide, hey, since it's a diamond OC, how about we incorporate like sapphires or something like a gem that's like kind of like in the midst of it. And I'm sorry I'm not explaining this very correctly, but if you get what I mean, then you'll understand. If you need more explanation on this, you could comment down below, and I'll try my best to explain better in detail. And also, the customer may not be always right, but in the end of the day, it's best to make them happy than mad. And the third claim I want to say is, when is it necessary to do updates? I do it every time I step a level in the artwork. Like, for example, so let's say you're about to do this commission for this someone. They explain what they wanted, and they either paid you to do it, or they're waiting for you to do a sketch and then pay. And so what you'll do, you'll go to the sketch process and you'll show them the sketch, and then after they respond and they say, okay, this looks good, then for me, they pay right then and there when they get the sketch and they approve of it. And so once they approve the sketch, then you could go to the line art. And then, or line art or coloring, whatever's the next step as soon as you get the sketch. And so after you do line art or whatever the next step is, then you show them and ask them if this looks correct. Because sometimes whenever you do line art, you like to change it up a bit and make it look a little bit better. So you'll need to ask them again. And so once you're done with that, whatever the next step is, which is like, it could be coloring or something, if you say you color it and like, it may have something like incorrect, you could ask them then and there, hey, is this the correct way to color this? If they say yes, then you could continue on. If it's no, then you'll need to ask them saying, okay, how do I do this then? Or like, is there another picture of your OC or persona or whatever that you could show me so that I could actually make this look correct? And so after you're done with that, to me, you don't have to go to the exact next step. If you're doing like a full body artwork that has shading and everything, you don't have to show them like the shading part. Although do ask like what kind of background. Like if your next step is to make a background for the OC or whatever, then you could ask them, hey, what kind of background you want, or think of an idea and show them the background and say, hey, do you want this in the OC's background, and if they say yes, then it will look a lot better. And so every time you do a step, it helps them to see, okay, that's what I want, yes, that's good, perfect. And so it helps for the customer to be a lot happier in the end, because you took the time to make sure that was what they wanted. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for being in the video. I hope you liked it. I tried really hard explaining everything. If I missed a claim or I didn't explain very correctly or weirdly, please comment down below. I will love to explain a lot better, because talking like this, even with a script in front of me, it's difficult. So anyways guys, I hope you guys have a super awesome day. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I do commissions too, so check that out in the description. I'll put that somewhere. And anyways guys, I hope to see